18 days, just 18 days left to draft best ball teams. We're going to fire in as much as we can over the course of the next week, 2 weeks and a half, I guess. I should probably know math. Let's just jump right into it. Good morning, everybody. A little bit later here on a Sunday. I had to work this morning. These best ball teams aren't going to pay for themselves, so we are working a ton of overtime. We are drafting a ton of best ball teams. We are working on a bunch of content. It is that time of the year. It's exciting time of the year. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into this drafters draft right away. And we're going to fire into the main event here. So if you want to fire in, this is the time to join. Let's get into it. Good morning to Bruce. Good morning, JP. And yeah, we're going to fire into this. Good morning, Dad, who says he can finally watch a Sunday Sicko draft. Yep, a little bit later today. Good morning, Martin. Yes, everyone's jumping in. We're going to be firing into this. There is a ticket giveaway this week on Drafters. If you get 5 drafts into this main event, you're going to get a ticket, I believe, tomorrow. Don't quote me on that. But if you get 5 done over the weekend, so you got to get at least 5 from Friday, yesterday, today, you'll get a free ticket. Those are fast drafts only. You also can do the consecutive drafts. If you haven't done that yet, there was goals for 10, 20, and 30 days a row in August. Right now, you'd only be able to hit the 10 days, but if you have your streak going, there is you get 1 main event ticket for 10 days plus a $10 pick'em. You get 2 main event tickets for 20 days plus a $25 pick'em. If you do 30 days, you get 3. So you can get up to 6 tickets that will be given out September 1st, I believe. Oh, actually, they don't combine them. So you just get if you get to 30 days, you get 3. So just make sure you read those rules, but you can get up to 3 tickets, which is way more than anyone else is giving away. We are in this draft. We are drafting out of the 9 hole. We see Moxie in the 101. I see Dad's in here. If you're in here, let us know. And Bruce is asking if Drafters is a little softer like DK. I personally think Drafters is generally the sharpest site in terms of drafters. I think that's the best drafters are drafting on Drafters. I think the rooms are a little bit tougher, but it's also mid-August, so that softens up a bit like it does across all sites. But if you haven't played on Drafters yet, you can use deposit code SPIKE and get up to $100 deposit bonus. So that's 5 entries. That's if you do $100, you get 5 free entries into this, basically, if you wanted to do it into this contest. There's so many ways to get extra tickets on this site. But yeah, definitely one of the sites you should be looking into. This draft, these are the drafts that scare me to death, because I was trying to follow all the news yesterday, plus plus all these other things, and just trying to keep track of all the injuries that happened last night. And it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough time of year to try to keep track of all that while you're drafting. But we will persevere. We will overcome, and we will endure. That's what we do. We endure here at Spike Week. Tons of content coming for you guys as well. I think we're 2 weeks away from the marathon stream, where I am just hoping not to die on stream. But yes, exciting time of year. This is my 88th draft. Oh, and there's also benchmarks too. If you draft 10 into this tournament. So if you did that $100 deposit bonus and you did your 10 drafts into this tournament, let's go with Malik Neighbors. And we're going to try to get a unique Neighbors combo, I think. We're going to attempt to. I don't know if we will, but we will try. Jay Fink says, didn't even realize you were live and entered on drafters, and there was King Coakley in the 9-hole. I apologize. Apologies for throwing you off. But yes, we're drafting a little bit late today. Next Sunday might be the same thing. I'm trying to figure out next Sunday right now. I have my home league draft at 11 next Sunday, and I want to work. So it's one of those weird. It's going to be a weird day for me. Bruce is asking, when is the marathon stream? The marathon stream is going to start Saturday. I'm trying to look. Saturday the 30th. I have a goal of how long I want it to last. It will be at minimum 24 hours. And I want it to be 48. I think it'll be 36. So do what you will with that information. It will be at least 24. I will do at least 24. I need to remember to get blue blocker sunglasses. All right, let's see. Bucky Irving is not done with Malik Neighbors a lot, but I have done it quite a bit. We don't get a lot of Trey McBride. I have all of these combinations. Son of a bitch. I don't have a Neighbors Chase Brown. I actually don't have a Neighbors Achan, so let's just do that. I don't have a Neighbors Achan combination. I know it's not like unique, but if I don't have it, I want to get it. That's something. Yeah, 24 hours is going to be the minimum. That's going to be the minimum. We're like I said, my goal is 48, but 24 will be the minimum. We're going to start it, I believe, at 10 a.m. that Saturday. That gives me time to wake up, walk Gotham, have a decent breakfast, jump in here and start streaming around 10. Getting through till 10 the next morning, and then I think I could probably do till 10 o'clock that night and make it 36 hours would be my guess. But we'll try to do more. We'll set we're setting the record, right? I don't, unless you guys know somebody who's done a longer consecutive best ball stream. I haven't really researched that. I think 24 has been like the longest that's been done. So we will, I think like at minimum, I'll do 25 because I just have to, go that extra hour. But yeah, I think it's going to be drafters heavy on that stream. That is the goal. So I'm going to be confirming all of that this week. We'll be confirming it all this week. We do have a Malik Neighbor song, so we'll play that next. Just a song we've named Malik Neighbors. We haven't recorded our own Malik Neighbor song yet. He wins me $1 million, I will. That is a promise. That is a promise. We are about to be on the clock here. We have Neighbors, we have Achan, who I know did come up with a little bit of an injury. It doesn't seem like it's too serious, though. I have no Josh. I have so much Josh Allen. I don't have any Josh Allen with Achan, though. Which is crazy. This is some of the stuff I was looking at last night. There was guys that I was heavy on in the early rounds. Like, I think it was AJ Brown. God, who was it? I posted it in the Discord. I can look it up after my next pick, but like I'm overweight, like AJ Brown, Lad McConkey, maybe. Actually, I think it was Neighbors. It might have been Neighbors, AJ Brown, and then I'm overweight Jalen Waddle as well, but I don't have a Waddle team with AJ Brown or Malik Neighbors either. So it's just one of those crazy coincidences. For best ball, Felix did a 25. Okay, we'll do a 20. We'll make sure we do. Again, 36 is the goal. 36 is the goal. And shout out to Felix. Felix is the man. All right, so we got Neighbors, we got Achan, we got Josh Allen. Let's grab Xavier Worthy, who I also don't have with Malik Neighbors. Okay, so plug a couple of our holes here. For Best Ball says, you'll need lozenges or honey. That is correct. Are you going to draft in the night, AM hours? Hard to get one to start at that time. I think the hardest time to get drafts to fill in my time zone, because I'm Eastern time, I'm near Boston. I noticed it's like, because I'll do a draft at like 6 a.m. And I think that's roughly the hardest time to get them to fill is probably between 3 and 6 a.m. is my guess. 4 and 7 a.m. somewhere in that ballpark. But we'll get them to fill, especially this close to the season. People will be firing teams for sure. And hopefully there's like a ticket giveaway that weekend as well. I think we'll be giving away some tickets during that stream. Don't quote me on that yet. Finalizing all that. But I would assume Drafters is doing something similar to what they're doing this weekend. Again, I have no information on that. That would just be my assumption. So I do have Waddle with Malik Neighbors, so it wasn't him. But it was some combination of players that I just didn't have these guys together, and it really sort of shook me that we have so much. Oh, I think it was... God, was it DJ? I don't remember. I'll look it up. I'll look up who it was. Let me look it up now, actually. Well, we are talking about it because if I don't do it now, I will forget because that's what we do. It was CD and AJ Brown, guys that I'm overweight on, but don't have any Waddle with them. So, speaking of Waddle, let's just do it. Let's just grab Waddle here. But yeah, so those are like anomalies I'm trying to fix. Thank you, my dad. Pulled it up right when I pulled it up. Yeah. So I'm overweight CeeDee Lamb. I'm overweight AJ Brown. I'm overweight on Waddle. And again, I had a CD AJ Brown team that I was building last night, which is nice. I like getting a CD AJ Brown team. But I noticed as I was drafting, I didn't get him on the team. But as I was coming back around on the clock, I was sort of looking at players because I was drafting from the desktop. And Waddle was at 0% with both of those players. So like it's in my mind now that when I have an AJ Brown team and or a CD Lamb team, I want to make sure I get Waddle on that particular team. Let's grab Ibuka here. Yes. So we start off Josh Allen, Devon Achane, Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, and Emeka Ibuka. So I think those are things over the next 2.5 weeks. It's not the end all be all, but when I like players that much, I'm trying to be cognizant of having some I probably have them on other sites, right? But in this particular tournament, which is going to be my main tournament of the year, I need to make sure that I'm getting some versions of those teams. Again, I probably have it on DK or Underdog, but I want it on Drafters as well, especially in a tournament that I plan on maxing out. So I would say you're not going to be able to find everything, though. That's the other thing we have to remember. It's just too many combinations of too many things, but when you're at like 16% of a player, those players sort of stand out to you, and you can find them. So like Jawan Jennings is a player that I'm overweight on. I have 15%, but I don't have him with Neighbors at all. Whereas like Aaron Jones, I'm at 5%. I don't have him with Neighbors or Achan or Josh Allen, which is fine. Like, could I put him on this team? Sure. That'd be fine. But like, those are just the things I'm sort of looking at as I draft on the desktop as I go through all this. Sometimes it can be a tiebreaker. God, I have so much Keon Coleman, Josh Allen teams. Let's push it. Let's actually do this Aaron Jones combo. I don't expect to get Keon Coleman to fall back to me here. I assume Wydad or one of these other two will probably snap up Keon Coleman, which is fine. We have 58% of our Josh Allen teams already with Keon Coleman. And although I want a heavy percentage of that, I don't need it on every single team. Yeah, you guys are hitting heavy. You might want to pull back and make sure you're getting all of your tickets. You don't want to waste those tickets. I'd be counting. That's why I'm only at 88 right now, because that marathon stream is, I'm going to need probably at least 30 teams to draft on that. So I'm being very particular right now about that stuff. Jalen Warren goes, who I do like. Do we want to do some teammate correlation here? I don't have any Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbor teams. Let's do that. So we'll grab Tracy here. So we've got Allen, Achane, Aaron Jones, Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, and Emeka Ibuka so far. Not a terrible start. I like it. Yeah, that becomes the balancing act. Oh, there's a swipe feature. Damn, Michelle. Accidentally drafted Tracy out 41. You hate to see it. But what if that's the unique combination that you need? That's the story you have to tell yourself. At 41, so yeah, that's a tough spot to draft him. That is a tough spot to draft him. I've never gotten hit with that swipe feature. I honestly didn't even know it existed. Well, Devin, if you don't believe me, you can look at the post when I was trying to do the math on the days. I just Googled how many days until NFL starts, and the Google AI said that as of today, which was like 2 days ago, they said that it starts on September 4th or whatever it is, and that we have 205 days until the NFL season starts. So the math, don't be mathin' with the Google AI is what I will say. 205 days. Wild. We have our Dunkin' Refresher, which is amazing. I think they're getting rid of the best flavor, which we are upset about. The best Dunkin' Refresher right now is the guava lemonade. And I think they are getting rid of those. Okay, what do we want to do here? Who makes sense? Oh, I have a lot of Drake May with Malik Neighbors. Let's start Rashid Shaheed. He's a guy I don't have a ton of. I don't hate having a fifth wide receiver. Just grab Rashid Shaheed there. White Ad's asking if I'm going to be doing any of the big limbs. I might do one or two. They went back to the format for the tournament that I really like. So I might do one or two. I wasn't planning on it, so I'm being very deliberate with my bankroll this particular year for the tournaments I want to do. So I need to see how to make that work for me. But I kind of want to do one or two of those. So we're going to try. Luther Burden, perhaps? Perhaps Luther Burden. We don't have any need for Purdy. Actually, I'm just going to grab Kincaid now because I don't trust you guys to not let Kincaid fall back to me. And I don't mind pulling him up here. I think it's fine. I think he is the best fit for this current team. Jay Fink says he lived on South Shore near Boston for 15 years. Missed the Duncan. What town? Because I live on the South Shore. Kind of give that away with my little dox myself every stream. You have a CMC anchor. That will help, perhaps. However, that helps you. That hurts me because we are at 0% CMC this year. I think we might have like one auto pick team with CMC, but CMC is one of my fades for the season. Quincy, Hingham, Stoughton, Foxborough, and Plainville. Yep. All around. All around. I used to cover Hingham for Comcast, so I got to go into a lot of those Hingham houses. If you're unfamiliar with Hingham, Mass, Hingham and Cohasset are very rich towns. In fact, there is a very particular road there that is all about just having millions and millions of dollars. Brady and Giselle almost bought a home on that particular road. And the reason they didn't buy it, because they wouldn't let them put in a helicopter pad. So those are the houses we were talking about. Yeah, I was a service technician for like 10 years with Comcast, 8 years, 9 years, something like that. So I used to go into people's homes and fix their shit. That was my job many a moons ago. But yeah, I used to go into those. Those were like $1 million homes. And one of them, I'll never forget it, was a hoarder's house. Like multi-million-dollar home. A hoarder's house, and it was a trash hoarder's house. Yeah, not many people are on that road. Totally fair. All right, we're back on the clock here. We've pushed the second quarterback. Let's push it a little more. And let's just lock in Trey Benson, because that's what we like to do. We have a ton of Trey Benson. We make no apologies for it either. No apologies. See Goff go after us. We see Tootin go. See a double tap from the 12 hole to get Penix and Bryce Young. And as expected, Trevor Lawrence goes next. So all works into our plans. Because we're just going to go ahead and click on Cam Ward now. Cam Ward, we have 5%, have none of him with neighbors. We do sort of hit Cam Ward with Josh Allen 16% of the time, which is a little more than I would like. I think that's a trap that a lot of us fall into with elite quarterbacks. And I try to make sure I don't fall into that trap all the time, where when you grab a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, a Hurts, a Daniels, your initial instinct is to push to the back end of the quarterback wave because you feel like you don't need it. And I just want different combinations of stacks of teams. So I sort of try to make sure I get Josh Allen with a lot of these different guys in here. But you can't always do it. Totally understand, Eddie. No problem there. No problem at all. We took Trey Benson because we knew there was going to be a small quarterback run here. I thought there would be 3 or 4 going in this range, so I thought we could push Ward, and that's what we did. But I think that's one of those things. So there's so many things that we do as drafters, right? Where when we take a wide receiver in the first round, sometimes second round, our initial instinct is we have to stack them with that quarterback. So CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott is just done to death, understandably so. But I think that if CeeDee Lamb's a guy that you're getting a healthy percentage of, if you're trying to get 8% or over, you want to make sure you're not just always doing him with Dak Prescott. Sometimes you want, if it's a playoff situation, you want to be taking like Jaden Daniels for the other side of that stack. And then sometimes I think you just want a one-off CeeDee Lamb. And that goes for every wide receiver in the first and second round. I just think you obviously do want the stacks, but I think sometimes it hinders you from building different combinations of teams, as I smash my microphone, because your thought process just goes to you're lock and loading that you're taking Dak Prescott or you're taking whoever. Like if you're taking Brian Thomas, you're like, well, now I know Trevor Lawrence is my 1 or 2 for my quarterback. So I think that's something as drafters you have to make sure you fight the urge to switch up sometimes. And I think that's what we do with elite quarterbacks, where we're like, all right, well, I can take Bryce Young, I can take Cam Ward. If you took Waddle, you could take Tua. Like that just goes into your brain. And I'm not saying it's wrong. Overall, I think it's wrong if that's all you're doing. So just one of those things we want to be cognizant of as we're drafting a ton of teams, is to not fall into habits that we create through first and second round picks. Because Jesus, we can do it. We just made a bad click here. We should not have grabbed Strange. It's fine. We'll recover. Strange was not the right pick here, though. Eric says he got a CMC Puka team on DK. Have I been lucky enough to get that start? I'm not drafting CMC, so no, but sounds like that will be fun. Yeah, I saw this info about HN. I think it's fine. I think they're probably just being cautious with them. Days and weeks is still plenty of time before the first week of the season. So they're probably just being exceptionally cautious with him right now. Is my guess. Ooh, Shipley's a good pick. We're going to grab Jacory Krosky Merritt here, though. We're a little underweight. We did not get enough of him when he was cheaper. So, while he's still in the 14th round, let's go ahead and grab him. Does potentially missing 2 to 3 games justify the fall of Tyjae Spears? Asking for a friend who drafted too much before the sprain. I think it does. We are famously dealing with a player who has had a significant injury history. And if that offense, there's variations of what could happen here. But if that offense is playing well with Tony Pollard doing 80% of, like playing 80% of the snaps there, you have a rookie quarterback. You want to give him the best chance to succeed his first year. And if he's succeeding with Tony Pollard in the backfield, right, at a decent clip, and they feel like the offense is moving in the direction they want it to, it could limit the snaps, especially for him coming back after. Just because he comes back doesn't mean he's in game shape to play a ton of the snaps. So is he ready to go into a 40% snap share? How's that offense looking? Is Pollard just crushing? Is the offense humming? Those are the things we worry about. So just be cognizant of that stuff. I don't think it's bad to take Tajay Spears. I was on Pollard more than him. I understand the Tajay pick. I just would be careful with my exposure to him, is what I would say. Yeah, the lad fall is quite nice. What's going on, RGT? Turns out I'm in that draft with Michelle. Lucky me. I am quite lucky. However, this tattoo that you can't see says luck is for losers. So there's that as well. All right, we have a 2-5-5-2 build. This is the part of the draft where I think you can kind of just do whatever you want for the last 6 or 5 picks. Whatever feels right. And let's grab. I know he got a concussion. Let's grab Diami. Diami makes sense here. That worked out great for Billy Zane and Titanic RGT. The quote, "I make my own luck." I've always liked the "luck is for losers" quote. Because it's great to get lucky. We all enjoy it when we get lucky. But I think that, God, I'm going to do another poker thing. I don't even know if I want to do another poker thing. Can I go a stream without talking about poker? Especially since I don't play barely at all anymore. But if you've played poker, let's just do it. If you've played poker, do we want to push him around? Let's grab Woody Marks. Why not? Let's have a fun draft. If you've played poker, you've played it at a significant clip. You've played with people who say the game is all about luck, right? And whenever somebody thinks something is all about luck, I don't know why we're going down this path, but whenever someone thinks something is all about luck, it's because they don't want to take any accountability in how they're playing a game. And I think that you'll have a lot of that in best ball as well, where it's just like, oh, it doesn't matter who you pick. It's all about luck anyways. It's all about this. It's all about your pod luck. It's all about your luck in the draft. And I think that's bullshit. I think if you're doing something, if you're playing at a level above people, it doesn't mean you're always going to win, but your percentage of winning is going to be increased heavily. Eric says that he's a billiards player and people think they got unlucky a whole lot more often than they didn't just actually plan correctly. I agree. FT says that Brunson and Super System talked about players who lean on luck are the easiest to beat. Yep. Probably ran into each other at Foxwoods, J Fink. Probably played a few tournaments together or some cash games maybe. I wouldn't be shocked. As RGT says, you put yourself in the best position to endure the gauntlet. That's best ball. I agree. I think that, look, there is, obviously there's some form of luck involved, but we want to reduce the amount of luck needed. We want to give ourselves the best shot to win. So, sorry we got off on that rant. Nobody really said anything. It's always been a triggering thing for me, especially I played at Foxwoods. You heard it. I mean, I played a bunch of places. I played at Foxwoods a lot. You heard it there. You especially hear it in the little local games that go around. There's a little local league that I used to play in years and years and years ago. That's all people would bring up. Nobody was trying to, like, when I say nobody, maybe 5% of players that were playing the little local tournament games, which were like little dingy games. We're going to take Io Manor here to pair with Cam Ward. We are at 23% Io Manor. We feel great about that. So we're going to take him here. But just a mindset. There's certain things that I do that I'll just go try to get lucky, that I don't need to learn because I'm not going to do it enough. So I totally get that. If someone's coming in here and firing 10 best ball teams for the whole summer, Godspeed. Rely on your luck. If you're putting in volume on anything, poker, best ball teams, your golf game, if it's something you are going to be doing at a decent clip, you should be putting in the study hours, the work hours on it to get better. Am I doing another draft? Maybe we'll fire into a BBM. Maybe we'll do one BBM after this. That's what we'll do. Just throw some money on Underdog so that we can do that. I'll fire a BBM after this since I was late today. Next week, time is in flux. We'll figure that out as we go. And then obviously the following week is the week that we have we went heavy on Miami here, right? H. and Waddle. Malik Washington. What's going on, MDS? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So there's my rant on luck. I was gonna start at 1. I got home. I banged through work today though. I threw the AirPods in and just crushed through work. So because I said 1 p.m. I will start. We'll do a BBM after this. We'll make this a two draft day. So 2 more picks on this. AD Mitchell does go. Andy says he's lucky here at that rant. Fair. Well played, sir. Well played. I didn't even have the right presentation going on here. Look at that. Look at us. Look at us. Oh, Fink, you took Fannin on me? Sad days. Sad days. Who do we want for a running back? We want more Kendre Miller. So we're going to do that. I think Kendre Miller is probably one of the most overlooked players in the player pool right now at the back end of drafts. And I'm trying to up my exposure quite a bit to him. We just did the whole unlucky rant, Tebow. You can rewind and hear that whole rant. God, so funny how we could scroll down decently in May and find running backs. Now we cannot. Do we YOLO Isaiah Bond here? No, let's grab Elijah Moore. All right, so we have Josh Allen, Cameron Ward, Devon Achane, Aaron Jones, Tyron Tracy, Trey Benson, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Woody Marks, Kendre Miller, Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, Abuka, Rashid Shaheed, De'Ami Brown, Alec Manor, Malik Washington, Elijah Moore, Dalton Kincaid, Brenton Strange. And that's where we ended up here. Okay. Let us mosey on over and draft the BBM. Need 9 people for this draft. That's the mentality right there. Just being good. So we'll hit this BBM where we can start looking at some of my percentages. You guys can yell at me about in BBM, where we have 32% Nico Collins, but we have 13% Jamar Chase. So our 101s have been running pure. 5% on Gibbs, 13% on Jefferson, 0% CMC, 0% Puka. Do what you will with that information. Do what you will with that info. We're okay with it. We are okay with it. Jordan's asking, is there any way you can change the tournament to display to the slate instead? The slate, I think I have to look at the options again. I think you can. If you're in the Discord, hit us up in Discord. We can help you with that. I'm pretty sure you can. Oh, look at that. We get another 101. Look at us. We'll be heavily exposed to Jamar Chase. And we are okay with it. And we are okay with it. I think I have a Jamar Chase song. Hell yeah. Let's play that. In honor of us getting the 101. I don't recognize... Oh, Moxie's in this one. If you're in here, shout it out. It's tough because some people don't have the same username across sites. So I'll just go ahead and grab Jamar Chase. Barkley goes 102 here. And our goal is going to be to get a variation of a Jamar Chase team that's not standard. This draft's going relatively normal. Saquon goes 102, which is fine. Bijan, CeeDee Lamb. We expect to see Gibbs go here. Oh, Nico gets pulled up a little bit. That's fun. Moxie gets Gibbs at the 106. Cooker should get Jefferson here at the 107, unless he's a CMC stand. Nope, Jefferson goes. McCaffrey's going to go. So the first round's been fun this year, but I like the first round better last year because there were guys that I was able to just take hard fades on, and it felt better. I think it was tougher to do that this year. I still did it a little bit, But last year, I thought the fades were obvious. And really enjoyed that. I might need to reload this. Okay, there we go. I just had to reload it to make sure that my hacker was showing the right info. All right, so Jamar Chase. And just so those of you who don't know, the percentages on the screen, my first one is my overall tourney percentage. Then I have my quarterback one, which is obviously going to be 0 because I haven't drafted a quarterback one yet. Then that third one is going to be my percentage of that player with Jamar Chase. Then one after that will be with my second round pick. The next is what we are projecting ownership of that player with our first round pick. And the second one is what we're projecting with the second round pick. So one thing we've done too much of here on Underdog is Trey McBride, Josh Allen with Jamar Chase. 100% of my teams right now have Josh Allen with Jamar Chase, which isn't a lot. It's probably like 2 teams, but it's 2 or 3 teams. But we want to make sure that we are mixing that up just a little bit. Oh, God, I would have loved for Ladd to somehow fall to me there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab Lamar, who's only projected 5%. We have not done Lamar yet. And then we are going we're just going to do Trey McBride. I know it's a heavy number that we're doing. But let's just inverse that Lamar and Josh Allen and do Lamar, Jamar Chase, Trey McBride. And Jay Fink just helped you out here, Jordan. Show ownership for all tournaments that share the same ranking setting. Takes care of the slate percentage for you. So thank you for that, Jay Fink. I knew there was a way. I just didn't know what it was right offhand. And it would have been a little tough to look up while I was drafting. All right, so Chase, Lamar, McBride. We like it. Moxie grabs Travion in the 3rd round here. I need to get down to the pro shop and see if they are selling Travion shirts yet. Because I'll grab a Travion Henderson shirt. Why not? Perhaps this week we will attempt to get down to the pro shop and try to grab that jersey. Well, jersey, t-shirt. Don't know if we're going to invest in a jersey. Don't really wear jerseys anymore. I have a few. Might wear one on stream tomorrow night. Make sure you join myself and Eric Beinfort for the Best Ball Basement tomorrow night. Not exactly sure what we're doing. I know what I want to do. I'm just not sure if he has an idea for tomorrow night's show. So we'll talk about it. We're also doing a 555 slow draft series. So if you haven't been watching that, the draft is going way too fast. That's what I'll say. This thing has been cooking. So we've been releasing those slowly. If you want to go follow along with myself, Eric, and B Kurt doing that 555. There you go, Tebow. I had a Vikings one with my name on the back, which is funny because like that's not even my favorite team, but I always enjoyed the Vikings jerseys. All right, we're gonna be back on the clock here momentarily. Chase, we have Lamar, we have Trey McBride. I might have to take a medicine pick here. We're gonna. Who do I not have him with? I don't have a DJ Moore, Jamar Chase team. We were gonna take our medicine, and we were gonna take Cortland Sutton here. I think we're gonna do Zay Flowers though. I think there was two ways to go there. I think we could have done Devonta Smith. Maybe we should have because we don't have him with Lamar at all. But I think it's fine. Cortland Sutton was the other pick, was our medicine pick because we're only at 3%. I don't hate Cortland Sutton the way others hate Cortland Sutton. I think he's in a tough range. He's not exactly where I'd like him to be. I really liked him last year. But you have to occasionally take your medicine, especially if you want Bo Nix. Like Cortland Sutton's just fine. That's a good point. Tebow said that should be an episode, the take your medicine guys. Guys that you don't really like, but you know you need to have some exposure to. It's just not fun. Like, and I don't want to do so. I think it's a great idea for a show, but I don't want all my take my medicine guys on the same team. I want to be mixing them in throughout the guys that I do like. So, yes, Cortland Sutton on this team would have been the perfect example of that. But I'm a DJ Moore stan this year, and I didn't have him with Jamar Chase at all. So on Underdog, I probably have him with Jamar Chase. On other sites, again, caveat, this particular tournament, as we go through it. Sorry, we didn't put the draft board back up. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. Again, I don't hate Cortland Sutton the way others do, the way others hate Terry McLaurin. I think they're fine picks, but they're just fine picks. I think last year Cortland Sutton was a great pick where he was going. So I was hammering him last year, but with the move up, Knicks being so high, like the whole thing going on with the Broncos offense makes them a little tough to click because they're just out of the range where you would like to click them, with the exception of like RJ Harvey, who went here in the 5th round. It just gets a little tough there. Do you see Pollard go? We are on the clock. Now, there are take your medicine guys, and there's guys that you just absolutely do not like at all. I'm going to take Juwan. And I think I'm going to take Swift here. So Swift is sort of a medicine guy for me. He was a guy I actually liked a lot before. But 701, we already have DJ Moore. I think we can do some stuff here. So let's grab Swift as our first RB on this team. So we have Lamar. We have DeAndre Swift. Let's just actually read it. We went Jamar Chase, Lamar Jackson, Trey McBride. We have DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Jawan Jennings, and DeAndre Swift. So I think we're setting up well here. Jaden Reed goes here in the 7th round at 77. I mean, Jaden Reed is the my guy of my guys, right? We all have our players. Jaden Reed is one of mine. I think him and Trey Benson are my highest exposure players still, and will be for the remainder of the summer. But I think that getting the Moore, Swift, Jawan Jennings situation is fun. Big running back run happening this round with Brian Robinson, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, and Caleb Johnson, who's been falling. Used to be Tracy go. We have McBride with Chase. We have Zay with Lamar. A lot of week 17 correlation going on. We didn't even really plan all of it, but we don't hate it. We do not hate it. Sunday afternoon, I'm all thrown off. Usually do this stream at 10 for those of you who don't know. So a little bit later today. Might be a little bit later next Sunday. And then, what do we have? 2 more Sundays to do this? And then we have real NFL football? Crazy. Can't wait for it to be back. Can't wait to be home all day on Sundays watching football, writing. That is my happy space. That is my happy space. I weirdly feel like I get more done when football is on. All right, we are going to be on the clock here in a second. I think a good pick for us here is Dobbins. So we're going to do that. And then there's going to be just this huge quarterback run that's about to happen. And it's early, but I really don't care. I think that this is clearly a Caleb Williams team, who we have 5% of, who we have not really drafted with any of these other players on our team for the most part. So we'll just grab Caleb. We'll be done at quarterback, and we're fine with it. Don't hate having at least one version of a Chicago-Baltimore team. Debo says he just completed all of his major backyard projects, so he's all set now for a while to just kick back on Sundays and geek out on football. Well, I am jealous a little bit. So August, September, October are the 3 busiest months of my life every year, because obviously it's football content. My regular job usually ramps up around now. And this is when spooky season starts. And we have a live show that we're planning on top of all of our extra content. And we're still trying to travel a little bit for something else. So it's a lot. So we're just constantly working on stuff right now. And that's not a complaint. I love it. So yeah, so here's that quarterback run I was talking about. For Best Ball says he's new to the Spike Week channel. Or she. I'm thinking it's a he. Do you guys have shows? Do you guys have shows in season, DFS, BR, anything else? We used to have in season shows that were just strictly for best ball. The plan this year is to do some DFS shows, some battle royal shows, and I think we're going to do some survivor shows as well. If you guys are into survivor picks, because I think there's a lot of money to be made in survivor. And I've won 2 big survivor contests over the past 8 years. And I think maybe me and Eric will split some teams. We haven't talked about it fully, but we're going to talk about some survivor strategy. Because people really you want to talk about level 1 thinking. Survivor tournaments is the epitome of level 1 thinking on the part of most people. So, wow. Yeah, we got right ahead of that quarterback run. We might not have gotten Caleb back. I think that was just the right pick there. It looked like it was early, but we were fine with it. All right, we're on the clock here. We're 224. I think there's a few different ways we can go here. As much as I love Travion Henderson, and I think he's just an absolute stud, I still think there is a ton of value with Ramondre Stevenson, so we're going to grab him. And let's grab Marvin Mims, who I'm just underweight on. Just get a couple Denver guys here. So we got Lamar, we have Caleb. Grabbed Ramondre there. I think we'll probably be doing it on Splash, is my guess. One of the big tournaments that I actually still play in, but it was run by one person, and it's for like $400,000 every year, and this one guy just used to run it, but he moved it over to Splash Sports a few years ago. So there's some really good survivor tournaments on Splash. We're going to try to reach out to them and see if we can do something with them, but even if we don't, we'll probably still just do some survivors on that site. There goes our leverage as I kill it for us, but that is the plan. So you're going to see all that type of stuff. We'll probably want to do that show on like a Friday or Saturday. With the caveat, obviously there's Thursday games, and sometimes you want that Thursday game if that's something we feel we need. It's tough to pick a day because you want all the info you can get on teams before you make a survivor selection. So that's why I'm saying maybe Friday or Saturday. Yeah, so Splash is a couple years old now, and they do some really good survivor things. So it's a pretty good app. They have a ton of different tournaments, ton of different buy-in sizes. I usually like to do a couple entries into like $100 one. So if you're looking for Survivor, wait a little bit if you haven't signed up for Splash, because I'm going to try to get us a affiliate code so that you can get some sort of bonus for signing up. I don't know exactly what they would offer, but that is the goal. But yeah, so there'll be DFS content. Eric's very big. I mean, we both are. I do a lot of $100 single entries every week, so maybe we'll do those. I don't know who's going to do what, but that is going to be there's going to be plenty of in-season content as well. Trey Benson goes. It's like I got stabbed in the heart. No Jaden Reed and no Trey Benson. Rough day for your boy. Tucker Kraft go? Probably, right? Like so long ago. He went so long ago. I want Braylon Allen. That's for sure. So let's draft Braylon Allen. And let's just get our Green Bay bring back for our Baltimore stuff and grab Romeo Dobbs. Seems good. Seems good. So those are all the Spike Week plans that I know of as of today for the in-season content. And if you're into spooky stuff, make sure you come over and subscribe to Hometown Ghost Stories for spooky season. Something to watch with your significant other. Because girls love spooky stuff. So come follow us over there. And if you're in the New England area, come out to our live show on October 24th. We're going to have a lot of fun that night. We even have an after party planned, so we're looking for something to do in October. And you're in New England. What's it called? It's called Hometown Ghost Stories. That is my other channel. Click on. We're live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. with a numbered episode. We do side content as well, but the numbered episodes are the ones I suggest you start with. They're not numbered on YouTube, but they are on the podcast feed. We just covered the haunting that is the base for the next Conjuring movie on Tuesday night, which is doing pretty well right now. So if you're into spooky stuff, Hometown Ghost Stories. If you're into football, obviously here at Spike Week, I got you covered on everything, right? But those are my Sundays. My Sundays are researching while I watch football, writing scripts. So weirdly, it makes me more productive having football back. We're going to be back on the clock here in a second. We have a 2461 build. Corey Krosky. Merritt goes here on the 14th as well. See Jalen Noel go. Thornton was a thought for me. I don't know if I was going to actually click him. What do we want to do here? I guess we're going to grab Garendo. Maybe Shipley. Let's grab Torrey Horton. Let's get the Torrey Horton exposure up. I know he got hurt, but as our 7th wideout, I think it's okay. We'll kick the can on tight end a little bit. That's our 14 and 15 pick. We have 3 picks left. We have a 2571 build at the moment. I think we're fine. Think we are fine. Oh, that is a terrifying story, Eddie. You should send that in to us at the email hometownghoststories@gmail.com. We do listener stories every couple of months. So if you send that in, we might be able to get that on an episode. What have I not played for music yet? I usually like go in order, but I've just been kind of skipping around. I know I played that. Let's play this. Yep, should be on the page. But if not, it's just hometownghoststories@gmail. Just the name of the show. At gmail.com. The Horton Rise is real. One of the hardest picks to get ever since week 1. Yeah. I didn't have enough Horton before either. I'm okay with it. Like, I want him for sure. So I'll course correct now. But the injury is probably going to keep that in check a little bit. I don't think we're going to have to end up paying a premium for him. He might even slip a little bit here and there. I'm fine with it. Did I want more? Obviously. So it's one of those ones where I'll probably get up to close to 8%. And if I don't, then I don't. If we're going to get a QJ fall, then we're going to be rich, is what I'm going to say. Yes, I know he had a concussion. Concussions are scary, but we got 2 weeks, 3 weeks for him to get healthy enough to play from a concussion. I'll take that risk if you're going to let him fall to the 16th round. It's a guy that I will just absolutely smash. Io Manor went. Io Manor is my guy. We have a lot of Io Manor though. I don't know how I don't grab Will Shipley. So let's do that. But before we click, who else do we want? I want more Jatavian Sanders. I know that. So let's just go ahead. Let's grab Jatavian Sanders here. Perhaps. I think we can do just Trey McBride and Jatavian if we wanted to. I think our last pick is a luxury pick. Don't think we need a quarterback, obviously. But I think we can kind of do anything we want to do with this last pick. Ugh. Getting close to the end here. Hope you guys are going to have a great Sunday. Hope you have a ton of fun plans. This is where I'll be, at this desk, writing a ghost story, recording audio, looking into a real camera, not my webcam. We are talking the Chargers, Johnston. Yes. I think if you're getting 16th round QJ, you just gobble that up. Take on minimum number of entries into the big splash to spread exposure each week. I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the actual tournaments yet. That was going to be a this week thing to see what the tournaments I'd want to buy in. I usually don't need more than 2 to 4 teams in a tournament for Survivor. Personally, I feel like if you play it, you're not going to win every year. Survivor is hard as fuck to win. It's not an easy thing to win. I've been fortunate enough to do it twice. But I think if you follow some really simple steps along the way, you just give yourself a huge edge in winning. And I don't want to like get fully into that right now. But if you've played it before, I think we can all say how people just really, they level one it, they look for the biggest spread, they take that team on a week in and week out basis, which is why you always see big numbers of people getting eliminated on the same weeks because the favorites lose. Last year it was week 1 it happened. Let's take our last pick here. Let's grab Fannin. Let's grab Harold Fannin for the final pick. And let's go over our team. We'll finish some thoughts before we get out of here. I'll finish my thoughts on that. I'll answer Eddie's question, and then we'll get out. We don't root for the drops, Tebow, like QJ. We're just getting the high end scoring weeks. So we went Lamar and Caleb at quarterback. We have DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Ramondre Stevenson, Braylon Allen, Isaac Guerrero, Will Shipley. We have Jamar Chase. We have DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Jawan Jennings, Marvin Mims, Romeo Dobbs, Torrey Horton Jr., Trey McBride, Jatavion Sanders, and Harold Fannin at tight end. We have that Chicago-San Francisco stack for week 17. We have a couple other. We have the Baltimore, Green Bay stuff going on. We have one more. I don't remember where it is. Technically have New England Jets. We didn't plan to do that. Just a lot of fun shit going on here is what I will say. So I do like this team. I think it's a good one. Yeah, we'll have a full Survivor video before week 1. Probably myself and Eric. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet, but we'll talk a strategy. But if you follow some like core strategies in that, where the easiest one to follow, again, is you just fade what the overall general public's doing 90% of the time. There's going to be weeks where it's like your only pick when you get later, but it's not just for them to get knocked out. It's to create leverage with other picks. So like if everyone picks Cincinnati week 1, for example, like last year, and they win and you still have Cincinnati and there's a prime spot on week 11 and 80% of the field can't use Cincinnati, it's just easy leverage, right? Like Survivor pools are all about leverage, in my opinion. You create as much leverage as you possibly can. So that's what I would say. Like if you're looking at the Survivor format, occasionally you might be out early because of it, which is fine. Like, because trust me, I got to week 16 last year with like 25, 30 people. Actually, I think it was like 35 people left for a $400,000 one, and I got knocked out week 16, I think it was, and it sucked. So we almost had another one. Hello, Regina. You should be working. So we'll be doing some Survivor stuff. Eddie asked, are all your stories real, or do you also like created scary stories? So what we do, I'll give you the breakdown of what Hometown Ghost Stories does. Our main episodes, we open with a ghost story that we write that is usually based on the location that we're covering. So it's a work of fiction mixed with some normal elements. That's like a 3-minute opening. And then we tell the real story or what the story of the locations are. So it's all real ghost stories, but the opening ghost story is usually a work of fiction. So that's what you're looking at there for the episode. And then we do like a 15-minute pre-produced section overall. And then we do a live portion where we discuss the case. If we think it's real, if we think it's bullshit, we go into all of that stuff and break it down. So that's what you'll find there. So no worries at all, Eddie. That's going to do it for the Sunday show. We will be back tomorrow night for the Best Ball Basement. Myself, Eric Bimefor. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal weekend. Until then, I'll catch you later. Peace. Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? why don't you press that subscribe button below? If you turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there. You can draft with us. You want to stay up to date. That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.